Hi everyone, welcome back to another Beasts of the Mesozoic review here on Jurassic Collectibles. So David and the team at Creative Beast Studios were kind enough to send us some production samples from Wave 2 of the collection, and you can see today we have got the absolutely beautiful Einiosaurus. So this is a really unique ceratopsid. You can see that curved kind of horn at the front there. A video I was watching beforehand to do some research kind of refers to it as almost a bottle opener shape, which is quite cool. So again, just like the last wave we looked at, these are samples, so the packaging may be slightly different, but you can see it's got the same kind of consistent Beasts of the Mesozoic look that we had with the first wave of Ceratopsians, which is awesome. We've got the same sleeve design, which I have really come to love. Obviously, you've got all your detail on the articulation there. And we do have some information on this dinosaur. So, Einiosaurus Procurvicornis, also known its name meaning buffalo lizard, would have had a length of up to 4.5 meters. It was found in the Two Medicine Formation in Montana, USA, and it would have existed in the late Cretaceous period, so that's about 74 million years ago. It's known for its unusual nasal horn, and the Procurvicornis means forward curving horn. So there is detail on the nasal horn. Einiosaurus is thought to represent an intermediate stage of centrosaurines, in between those with a straight nasal horn and those with a blunt nasal boss, i.e. the Procurvicornis. And Procurvicornis is a figure we are going to take a look at in a later review. So you can see on the back the rest of Wave 2, just there, looking really cool. And all in all, this is a fantastic looking figure. So, really excited to get this one open and out of the packaging. So I'm gonna grab some scissors and we will get this one out. So just wanted to stop the unpackaging for a second to say that these continue to be packaged incredibly well. You can see we have got this lovely scenery piece behind it, which means if you're displaying these figures on your shelf, you could easily open them up and then use these as a backdrop to display them. So very nice detail. We do also get instructions, just basic details on dipping the tail in hot water to attach it. Which is something that's recommended with all of these figures. And if we cut this open and take it out as well, we do have the fact card on the Einiosaurus, and that picture of this figure is beautiful. I love the set they've used for that. But yeah, you can see it's all the same facts as on the back of the box. The only additional detail is that this dinosaur was named by Scott Sampson in 1995. So, cool additional details. We'll continue with the unboxing now, and we will take a look at the final figure. Okay, so here we have got the Einiosaurus out of the packaging, and this figure is just as beautiful as I was expecting. And generally speaking, with all of the Beasts of the Mesozoic figures, they look really good in the packaging anyway. But when you get them out and actually get to look at all the different paint applications across the figures, you begin to see just how detailed they are. So, bringing this figure closer to the camera, you can see the head sculpt there with that curved front horn, as we mentioned, is beautiful. the level of detail to capture kind of depth in that eye there is really, really spot on. And you can see, obviously, you've got nice paintwork on the crest, and then the horns that come up here. And one thing I really like that the team do with the horns is do this two-tone colour scheme. So you've got the kind of white that fades into the black, and it fades really nicely, with some really good colour blending. You can see the horn there has got a lot of detail packed into it. 3 or 4 different colour tones packed into it. And then the kind of crest behind that is really detailed as well, with additional paintwork but also additional sculpting. And that really helps to make it pop. And it gives this dinosaur its unique profile when you compare it to the other ceratopsids. This really is one of the more unique designs that's out there. I mean, you know, looking at the packaging, the Avaceratops and the Wendoceratops, kind of similar in terms of their overall physiology when you compare them to other ceratopsids. I feel like this one with its unique curved horn really is distinctive in comparison. It is worth noting that the jaw does open up, so you can see, if we get that in focus. And one thing that I did see pointed out on one review was that the tongues on some of them are movable. I don't believe it is on this one, but you could give that a go if you got your hands on this. So really nice detail there. You can see nice paintwork around the beak as well in comparison, and really, really nice textured kind of pebbled skin all across the figure here. So not just here where it's quite prominent, but actually all across this figure. And if we move down into this side profile, you can see that's where the paintwork really begins to shine. You've got this nice black striping here, accompanied by some really nice rust-coloured highlights, which really pop on this particular figure. And then the use of grey for the core colour underneath really means that you get nice contrast from these colours, so they all kind of pop out, which is cool. We're just going to refocus that because I want to make sure you're seeing all of this detail. So yeah, really, really cool detail. You can see you have got the little extrusions along the top of the figure. Somebody's going to tell me the right term for them one day, because I feel like I use the word extrusions on every review at this point. And then you've got the tail as well, which lines up nicely with them. You can see the tail itself does curve a little bit, so you've got some nice kind of dynamicism to that sculpt. And all in all, this is a very, very beautiful figure. I mean, you can see the paintwork coming down the legs just there. And then also there's additional paintwork on the feet, and I don't know how well that's going to show up on my camera. Possibly on the back leg it will show the best. But there's additional paint for the toenails, and then there's almost like a mud effect going on, which is really, really cool. So, all in all, the Einiosaurus, in terms of paint and sculpt, I can't fault this figure. Now, saying that, I will just disclose that obviously these have been provided as review samples, so take that to mean what you will. But my genuine opinion on this figure is that I can't fault it. And it's something that I get with these Creative Beast Studio figures every time, is the fact that the level of detail, it's just leagues above what I'm used to collecting personally, which is more Mattel figures. Now, again, that's not saying Mattel figures are bad, but these just feel so much more high-end. Which is really awesome. So we will go over the articulation. I'm just going to pop the focus off so it stays in focus the whole time for you. So you've got a double neck joint here, so you can get some good movement out of that, get it up and down. Obviously you want to be careful not to nudge the front horn too much and accidentally knock it off. It's quite sturdy, but I'd still be conscious of that. You've got a joint in the mid-rim, sort of the stomach, so you can get some cool angles going. The legs can go forward and back, in and out, and again they bend at the kind of what would be an elbow joint there, and that's also got a swivel. Same with the feet. Hind legs, same, really good range of motion. They don't appear to come in and out, but do go back and forward. You've got that bend joint there as well. And then the hinge on the ankle. And then also the ball joint for the tail, so you can angle it out and do it around. So really good range of motion on this figure. Obviously is impeded a little bit by the sculpting, but that's as with any toy. But again, a lot more dynamic than something like a Mattel figure. So really good range of motion, especially if you're a toy photographer. I've seen some really, really cool toy photos with these figures. So we'll take one final look at that head. And I think that is where we're going to wrap it for our review of the Einiosaurus. This is a really, really gorgeous and unique ceratopsid. We always get figures of dinosaurs like the Triceratops. This is something new and it's something unique and it's really, really cool. So if you're watching this and you're thinking that this is a really cool dinosaur you'd like to get your own, then I will leave a link in the description box down below for where you can grab one. It will either be a link to Everything Dinosaur, who stock these in the UK, or if they're not up on there just yet, then it will be a link to the Creative Beast Studios website itself. And with that said, I do just want to say a massive thank you to David and the team at Creative Beast Studios for sending this figure my way to review. It's always a privilege getting to take a look at these figures in the studio, and I am really, really excited to see what the team does next. So thanks so much for watching this video, guys. Make sure to like, favourite, subscribe. Stay tuned to Jurassic Collectibles for lots more content in the near future. And until we catch up in another video, take care and have a great week.